I just wanted to let you know we're still in Hutchinson, Kansas. We got one other thing to do today, but I wanted to show you because I know I didn't before. Anyways, that great big huge fuse that Scott had to run around finding. Well, this is actually what it is. I mean, is that not a monster or what? Yeah. So, and that goes in here, and it's in a difficult place to get to begin with, so you know, so remember that when you're building these out. To get this information, all this stuff would be better off in a more accessible place, but that's where it goes. So it's got to be put back in there, and it is attached to the inverter. And I had to honestly had to go look it up so I could explain it better what the inverter does. So I'm not sure. So what does a power inverter do, and what can you use? A power inverter changes the DC power from the battery into conventional AC power. So the solar panels fill up the battery, but to get the battery to be able to use it for the fridge and all that stuff, this has to be in there because that helps do that. So that's the purpose of it. Anyways, all right, that's all I wanted to explain. We're going to Strataca today. Very cool, going to the mines. So here's some stuff on that. Thanks for checking back again, you guys, and as always, love to hear from you. Please subscribe if you haven't already, and on to the video. 100 years of salt mining, the Strataca, Kansas Underground Salt Museum. That's what we're doing today. We're underground bound.
To the right. If you guys follow the lights across the ceiling here, they go all the way down through that area where the walls narrow in a little bit. Miners call that the narrows. So when you get to the end of the narrows there, you're going to take a left-hand turn, and that's where the museum opens up into a big gallery. That's where all the videos and the machinery are. And there should be somebody there to greet you through that area. So do you guys have any questions so far?
What I did not show you guys was this crazy ride down cramped elevator in the complete darkness, and how they made us put on these lovely hard hats. Ooh, fashion statement. So it's a walking tour through this museum, which is actually quite amazing how huge this is. The ceilings are all this consistent height, but so I'm not sure how good this video is actually going to turn out. So I am going to throw in some, just some regular pictures that we took of the things that were in the museum. So here you go. huge.
This weighs 6,000 pounds.
Miner's Life. Oh, this was Mike Rowe. I actually traveled in that car. Dirty Jobs show.
I
That's
remember
funny.
driving around in this.
Yeah, I'm sure we've seen this. I've been so amazed at the height of the ceilings in these things. It's just amazing. Yeah, this is amazing. This is all the stuff that they store down here. It's oh, I don't know. Oh, we're gonna get over there, I guess. All the different kinds of things they store because everything keeps so well down here. It's crazy. Medical records. Natalie Cook. Oh, worn by Cameron Diaz and Charlie's Angels. Miniature of the Daily Planet building. What? Oh my god, yeah. Those old things. Holy man. Yeah. Well, we were waiting to get on our train ride. They'll take these pictures for you. So the train engineer did that. It was fun.
There's some storage.
What? Storage.
In the wall to your right is a bulkhead. A bulkhead is what the miners call a wall that was used to direct airflow. This bulkhead is made of 1.5-inch thick tongue and groove planks supported by 6-inch by 6-inch timbers and sealed with black tar paper on the backside to keep air from that part of the mine from coming into this side. It was slowly being crushed by the roof, but as you can see, it finally came down. On the platform are a couple of two-thumbed gloves. In the 1940s, when this area was being mined, everyone conserved materials for the war effort. The miners would wear the gloves until they wore out the palms. Then they would wear them on the opposite hands, using the second set of thumbs until they wore out the backs of the gloves. Anybody need a break?
It's an interesting, fun little train ride. So we made it back to the beginning again. It was the entrance of the storage area we had to walk through to get to the next ride, which they call the dark ride. Well repaired. Dark ride. Going on the dark ride.
Now the first signal
Here's
seat
the
is here on the left. This
gift
is the
shop.
rail bed. From 1923 to 1983, the rail bed was the lifeblood of the mine. It was the only way the salt could get around. This orange vehicle, that is an electric locomotive. That one in particular is nicknamed the Galloping Goose. And they call it that because whenever it would start and stop, the springs on it were wound so tightly that it would bounce up and down. After that, we have these ore carts labeled CSC, that stands for Kerry Salt Company. Each one of these carts holds about 4 tons of salt. The miners would load these carts, and for each cart that they loaded, they received a brass chip that was worth about 50 cents. So the average daily pay was around $4 to $5, which back during the Great Depression was a big deal. This last cart, this big red one, is the explosives cart. When they first started mining down here, they used to use dynamite to blast away at the rock. But eventually they switched to something called ANFO. ANFO stands for ammonium nitrate fuel oil. That is a powdery material. It's a lot more stable and it gives off a much bigger blast. That's center and the stack area.
Oh, you could have road signs down there.
Ahead, that street sign, East Avenue G. That's the street you would have turned off of to get to the museum.
Oh.
So we are no longer under the building you guys came in. It's pushing down on this pillar, which pushes the pillar into the floor, which causes the floor to heave up. Just like when you play with clay or Play-Doh, when you press your thumb into it and it rises up around your thumb, that's basically what's happening here. If you see the giant ruler stuck in there, it shows that this floor heaves come up about 3 feet so far. It's still going up, just very, very slowly. Things in geology terms move very slowly. Then up here, in this picture, this shows when the opposite happens. Not when the floor comes up, but when the roof comes down. It happens in 2 parts. The first part's what we call a roof sag, where a piece of the roof starts to sag down. That's what the man on the right is leaning up against. If it keeps on sagging, keeps on getting bigger, and nothing's done about it, eventually it will peel off from that mud layer, fall from the ceiling, and then hit the floor, become a roof fall. That's what the man on the left is standing within. That's also what was out on the train ride.
So they had this spot on this tour where they stopped and let everybody off, and we were able to grab a salt nugget remnant, and there were little bags there and stuff. So that's what this is that's going on here. So it was fun. We had a great time at the Strataca, and definitely recommend it. So
Guys, again, please don't climb on the salt pile.
here you go. Here's the little baggies they gave us, and then Scott grabbed this great big huge rock. So so be sure you check the hours of operation of these places before you go to visit them, because we found out a little late that Strataca had some funny hours. We ended up staying an extra day or two at the camp at the fairgrounds there, which worked out fine. But anyways, we did because of that, and we couldn't get in until 1 o'clock because all the morning hours are for the kids. They do a lot of tours for the kids in the school systems and things like that. Anyways, so we did our tour, which started at 1 o'clock. It ended, I think we were done by 4:30, whatever time it was, and we just left then, right from the Strataca, and we knew we weren't going to get real far, but and I did not film it, but we went as far as outside of Wichita on the tollway there. They have those they call them maintenance or service areas, which are gas stations essentially, and we've stayed there before, so it was comfortable. And then we got up the next day and just kind of got going. Scott left ahead of me because we knew that day I was going to stop in Iowa and take care of some business there. So we did finally make it home that next day. So once again, thanks for watching, you guys. Appreciate you. We're up over 500 subscribers, which we totally appreciate. Now our next goal is to get over 1,000. So, you know, we're working on it. We've been at this for quite a few years, but we have fun with it. So appreciate you guys. But I'm going to show you the rest of the video and how we made it home. And so there you go. Once again, love you guys out there. Leave us a comment. Give us a big thumbs up. See you next time. Oh, something's on fire up there in Iowa on Interstate 35. I'll turn the camera back on if we can figure out what it is. Scott's behind me somewhere. I'm stopping in Des Moines to drop off some stuff that I'm taking back for Esther. I'm gonna give it to Kathy and our mutual friend who lives right there in Des Moines, and not that far from Des Moines right now, but oh, I think they're just burning fields. No big deal. No idea where Scott is. Well, I can find him on my Find Me app sometime, I'm sure. I just know he's ahead of me. Well, we are gonna make it home today, I'm sure now. We're just gonna keep going. It's just too close not to.